Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. Russia's war against Ukraine has fundamentally changed how European governments think about national security, with civil protection now receiving renewed attention alongside defense. Now, new polling shows Poles favor military training over compulsory service, while governments across Northern Europe prepare for scenarios once considered unthinkable. Joining us now is Magdalena Jakubowska, Vice President of the US Publica Foundation. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
So if we were to have a serious crisis, let's say worst case scenario, there is a Russian attack, something militarily in Poland, how ready, not from a military standpoint, but how ready is society here in Poland? Are ordinary citizens ready for such a thing?
We have seen that Polish society is ready for many of the situations. We see floods from time to time in Poland. We have seen a huge humanitarian crisis when the full-scale invasion of Ukraine started. And Poles are very much eager to work together to build a solid base to be ready for different of those crises. Mm-hmm. If we look at war and the possibility of I don't know, Russian troops stepping in or whatever, are we ready? There needs to be some improvements. We need to make this more systemic, for the people to feel also more confident in what they are doing and how they are managed in such a crisis situation. Mm-hmm. We see by the polls you mentioned that people don't feel that confident. They, on one hand, they feel like they need the training. That's why the support is so huge. It's over 70%. And I think that this is the need that they have in themselves, that there needs to be more systemic understanding of how preparedness is being tested or being done in Poland.
Speaking of testing, I mean, just now on these images, I don't know if our viewers can hear playing some sirens. This is a massive exercise just this week. It was happened yesterday. I remember hearing it across the city, testing nationwide systems. I mean, obviously you can hear those sirens, but I'm just wondering, do ordinary Poles know what to do? I mean, do they know where the shelters are? Do they know where to go, how to behave? Is it fit for purpose right now?
Well, we cannot say for sure. I mean, like for many like my age and older, it has been necessary to learn those things at schools. So we know a lot. We understand that there is threat, there is something happening. And it's not that difficult any longer to check it on the internet quickly what to do, right? In case of the shelters, the situation is a little bit worse. We now got some preparatory books in Poland, like leaflets or notes, where you have like concrete instructions what to do and where to go, and many of the districts in the cities in Warsaw are showing what to do in such a situation. But still, this is not enough. We don't have enough shelters, and these facilities and this understanding what to do and where to go has to be more trained in people. Sirens is not the only thing. Understanding what sound is what's the meaning of of the sound, whether it's we talk about, I don't know, nuclear threat or more conventional, then people get lost, and probably that should be refreshed. But definitely we should invest into new generations, those that are now teenagers, young people, who should be trained as fast as possible, because it's the easiest. We have them on the plate. We can easily do it at schools. It is more difficult with adults, with people who have their own lives, professional engagements, family engagements. So we should use the opportunity and definitely introduce trainings at schools, at least at this basic level of understanding what the threat is and how we react to that.
And also, I mean, a lot of this does have its connections with the military in terms of also some countries in Europe returning to mandatory military services. This poll, I mean, we touched on it just a moment. Just reply again, or rather reiterated, IBRIS poll recently, 51.1% oppose restoring compulsory military service, but 76% support a mandatory military training of sorts. So where's the distinction there, and what kind of, let's say, skills and critical things do people learn if they are involved in this, and how ready are we? Again, where is the actual need here to...
Again, people want to feel confident. They want this training they want to be involved, they want to be ready. And this is why the support is so huge, and I think this is necessary. In terms of being conscripted and doing this kind of in a manner that we still remember from the 1990s and early 2000s, is not the best way to do. And also, this, we don't have the confidence that this conscription will be inclusive to everyone. I feel that this training and having this all society approach and having people trained, having people equally involved into that, meaning women, people of disabilities, because they also have to know how to react. I think this is important to do it in this manner, and that's why the support would be is much larger for those trainings. People want to be ready, so this is a top-down approach, not a top-down approach like with conscription, but rather a bottom-up, where people really feel they can contribute, they can use their skills, they can use their experience in different manners and adjust to the need.
And also adjusting to the need, also the threat, which has been also quite visible. I mean, in the last few months, we've seen, for instance, in Romania, several times drones crashing into certain residential areas near the port. I remember this as well. We've seen it in Latvia just as well. We've seen it in the past also, in some extent, into Poland, and the threat is there. I mean, it's no longer a theoretical occurrence. With the onset of more drones, how prepared do you think, and when people see that, how prepared are people to know what's going on? Do we take our own precautions, or how does this, because it's also a very visual thing, it's also a very psychological thing, I think, for many people.
It's very much psychological. We know that the threat perception is growing in Poland, and it was, and of course the provocations from Russia will grow. Will only grow. I cannot imagine that they will stop for some reasons. So we can only expect growth of those of such occurrences like with the drones. I'm not sure people are that well aware, and definitely are impatient in a way that we should respond, that we should not neglect that. And of course, if you see a drone hitting a building or being very close to you, obviously you have this this feeling that you need a reaction, you need to give back to. But we should be more informed in a way how to react, and that this is not purposefully threatening to whole of the country, and how much we should not escalate in such events. But I'm not sure people are now ready for the very new types of weapons at the moment. And this is also something that we as media, me as a think tank, and the government themselves, they should be informing what to do, where we are. And I think that this is a little bit neglected, probably not by us, but also on this governmental tone.
Just really short on time, just last one. We know that in March, 10 countries, Northern Europe, are also preparing for a mass evacuation plan, preparing civilian evacuation from border regions. But just with all that happening now, one piece of advice you could give that's really key right now for anyone living in Poland, living in these times right now?
I think that there is we should be understanding that each of us is meaningful for safety, for keeping the country ready. So we should be trying to put more pressure on the government, on the MOD, on the military to prepare those training, to be involved. Civil society organizations are involved. We should be more pressurizing to get prepared, because every one of us matters for that.
So the old adage, practice makes perfect. Thank you so much, Magdalena Jakubowska, for coming in from the Publica Foundation. And thank you so much for watching. That concludes World Talks, but do stay right here with us on TVP World for more. Goodbye.